My brothers and sisters, may the Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew. The mother of the sons of Zebedee approached Jesus with her sons and did him homage, wishing to ask him for something. He said to her, "What do you wish?" She answered him, "Command that these two sons of mine sit, one at your right and the other at your left, in your kingdom." Jesus said in reply, "You do not know what you are asking. Can you drink the chalice that I am going to drink?" They said to him, "We can." He replied, "My chalice you will indeed drink, but to sit at my right and at my left, this is not mine to give, but is for those for whom it has been prepared by my Father." When the 10 heard this, they became indignant at the two brothers. But Jesus summoned them and said, "You know that the rulers of the Gentiles lord it over them, and the great ones make their authority over them felt. But it shall not be so among you. Rather, whoever wishes to be great among you shall be your servant. Whoever wishes to be first among you shall be your slave. Just so the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve, and to give his life as a ransom for many." The Gospel of the Lord. We celebrate today the feast of St. James, the brother of John and one of the first apostle to give his life for the sake of the gospel call. He was martyred by Herod Agrippa in the year 44 AD, so just 10 years after the resurrection event, or 11 years after the resurrection event, he gives witness to the faith. And we hear the story today specifically in the Gospel of Matthew about a good mother trying to get the best for her children. The mother of James and John comes to Jesus and said, "Can they have the seats next to you, to your right and left, in your kingdom?" And of course, as this is being said, I'm sure the other apostles all sat there and thought to themselves, "We should have asked that. We never even thought to ask such a thing." And Jesus is quick to say that he cannot tell what seat they will have. And then, of course, the apostles shift their understanding and to get indignant. How dare he ask such a thing and assume such things? It's interesting how we as humans sometimes do that same kind of thing in our relationships with one another. We seek things for ourselves sometimes without thinking of the other. And when somebody else gets something, we get upset that they ended up succeeding and we did not. The text from the Corinthians letter of St. Paul today kind of puts into a context this call to taking up the cup and the chalice that Matthew speaks of. We're told by Paul very beautifully that we are like earthen vessels, so that ultimately the glory comes from the fact of God working through us rather than through our own strength. And he suggests that even though things could be difficult for us, because we have God working with us and his glory is manifest, that anything is possible. And of course that happened in the sake of every single martyr who witnessed the faith. They had a strength all of a sudden at that time to stay true to the call and to the gospel, regardless of individual weaknesses or insufficiencies, because they saw in all of that a share in the victory of Jesus through the cross. Today, that is, remember James, who was one of those apostles that had the great opportunity to see most of the major miracles of Jesus. We'll be celebrating this coming Sunday, I believe, the Feast of Transfiguration. And again, it is James and John who are present for that experience. He who had those kind of experiences in turn was able to witness when the time came out of the strength of that message and memory, his own life for the sake of the gospel.